Hey guys, the concerns about Grindavik are on the rise. Grindavik, that little fishing town in Iceland that has been rumbled by earthquakes, by lava flows, by volcanic eruptions. They're trying to protect Grindavik with defense walls, with a second row of defense walls. They've been working on making the defense walls higher, but they're having serious doubts that the defense walls will hold another strong eruption with another strong lava flow. And the similar situation is happening at the Swartsengi power plant and where the Blue Lagoon is located. They're increasing their defense walls. They have increased their defense walls. They have received water cooling equipment for the coming eruption. But why are they so concerned right now? I can tell you, we will hear from the police chief of Sudorns, and we will also hear from scientists. It's very worrying for Grindavik, and we hope that this coming eruption will not be the end of all of it. So we have an earthquake activity that is raising concerns as it did the last few days. So the earthquake activity, especially in this area where Grindavik and the Reykjavik area with the power plant and the Blue Lagoon are located, has also increased again significantly today. So the Icelandic Meteorological Office reports that they have detected 157 earthquakes within the last 48 hours. So it is increasing, and most of the earthquakes are concentrated in the area around Swartsengi, but also in the area north of Grindavik and south of Mount Thorbjorn. That's why I have put this picture here in the background that says, could there be a new eruption in this area? And you see the eruption that happened in January, where a fissure opened really at the edge of Grindavik, and then the lava was flowing inside of Grindavik, burning down 3 homes. So this is concerning, but there's also tremors more western of the town of Grindavik, and we will have to see what is going on there. Is this just because there's tension rising underneath Swartsengi because that magma chamber is so full, and the tension, that land rise that it's producing, is that causing these tension earthquakes, or are they magmatic? Will magma flow into this direction? This remains to be seen. One thing they're saying is that they think that the ground uplift, that land rise underneath Swartsengi, has decreased today. We know increased seismic activity and a decrease of the land rise means the magma chamber is full. It has absolutely reached the point of maximum elasticity, and these are indications that the eruption might be imminent, but we don't know yet if the land rise has really decreased or if it's another problem with the accuracy of their measurement instruments. So we have to wait for a really decent confirmation of this, maybe over the hours, maybe over days. They need to record comparable values over several days to confirm that. But since they're saying the eruption could happen at any time and could be imminent, maybe they don't even have several days to confirm that. So for now, let's assume that this is happening, that the land rise has slowed down, the earthquakes are increasing, so everything points towards the eruption coming. So then we have 2 scenarios that we have to consider. So why could that land rise stop? I mean, there's 2 possibilities. One would be good, and that is something that Thorvaldur Thorvaldsson has indicated a few weeks ago when he said he thinks when the last eruption stopped that this is the last one, and that the whole system, that everything will end in this area by the end of August. So what if the magma flow that is coming from very deep is decreasing because the deeper magma reservoir that feeds the more shallow reservoir is exhausted? I don't think this is very likely because we have more than 20 million cubic meters of magma now in that shallow magma chamber. So, and it didn't look like there is a problem filling it up, and there's a lot of tension in that magma chamber. So of course this would be best case scenario, that there is no more stuff left in the deeper magma reservoir to fill, and then that it's dying down, the magma will solidify in the shallow magma chamber. But the other more likely scenario is probably because the pressure in this shallow magma chamber is becoming really, really great, because it has exhausted its level of elasticity. There's no more room for additional magma, so it will send magma on its way, right? If you have a rubber band, you can only tear it away to a certain point, then there is no more elasticity, and then you can't tear it further until you reach a breaking point. If you put more pressure on it, then it bursts, it breaks. Same with a balloon that you fill with air. It can't only hold that much air. If you put more air in, it'll blast. So if the magma chamber is full, maximum point of elasticity, we will see probably a imminent eruption. And we are hearing concerns, not only from the police chief of Sodorns, but also from the Icelandic Meteorological Office. So the ground deformation specialists, Benedict Gunnar of Feiksson, he confirmed today that the seismicity is at a high level, and he is concerned about Grindavik as well, because he said they are very, very close to Grindavik. The epicenters of these earthquakes are north of Grindavik, and he is worried that we could see a volcanic fissure opening there, similar like it did as a surprise in January when 3 homes were burned down. And then if it opens up there north of Grindavik, since there's so much in the magma chamber, they are expecting that this eruption could start out even stronger than the last one. So what would that mean? A stronger magma flow, a stronger lava outcome of that fissure that would threaten the defense walls. So that would be a very, very bad scenario for Grindavik. But also the police chief of Sodorns, who is responsible for Grindavik, he doesn't want people in Grindavik, and we know this. He said that repeatedly over the last few months. But you know, the residents basically threatened to go to court, and they did, so that they have the right to spend the nights in their homes. So he was not able to have an evacuation order with a don't live there, although he would like to do this. So he said that it would be irresponsible to spend the night in Grindavik, and he really, really advises all the residents of Grindavik to leave at least in the evening and don't spend the night there, latest by the evening. He doesn't want anybody there because of this possibility that we could see even an eruption inside of Grindavik. Scientists don't rule that out. They still say it's the least likely scenario, and they don't think that this will happen. But you know, with this volcanic system, anything can happen. And it's like a Swiss cheese underneath. Even if there's a fissure opening outside, lava could flow into these fissures and then pop up inside the town. So the police chief would need a new state of emergency declaration in order to have the authority to evacuate the town. So all he can do at the present level is really address the common sense of the people and say, get out. And there are people inside the town. So last night, about 30 people spent the night into town, spread out in about 20 homes. And some of them really, really in the north of Grindavik, where we have the most critical area if we look at where the epicenters of the earthquakes are. So magma could be on its way towards that area. So spending the night in the darkness there, that is high risk. So the police chief would like to evacuate, but he doesn't have the authority. But he lets people know, don't bring your kids, only go into town if it's really necessary. But also the mayor of Grindavik has given a statement, Fanna Johansson. So his biggest concern about the impending eruption is also, where will the fissure open when it comes to Grindavik? Will the eruption be bigger, which is probably likely right now? And also, he's worried about the longer that we're waiting for that eruption, the stronger it will probably be. So for him, it is the fear that the eruption will be bigger and that there will be more lava flow and that the crack that opens, the fissure, will be bigger because there's more pressure in the system. So he says that in the past few weeks, they have been working on raising the defense walls and extend them. But he says, and that's what's concerning, he says it appears they cannot withstand an endless flood with a similar amount as the last eruption. So he says for them, as a community, this is a very, very uncomfortable situation. And we have the same situation at Swartsengi. So he also says that the pumping equipment has arrived to cool the lava with water or to slow it down, but that's all they can do. They can't stop it, right? And so he says everything that's in our power that we can do has been done in trying to protect the town and the structures in Swartsengi. So they don't sound that confident anymore. What he also confirms and what the scientists have said, with each eruption, they're coming closer to the town. So that's why everyone is hoping right now that the whole event in this area of the Reykjanes Peninsula, all these disasters, will end the way Thorvaldur Thorvaldsson has announced it, so that it will be possible maybe to preserve these areas. So maybe there's another eruption coming, maybe that will be the last one, but the coming one could destroy it all. Let's be honest about it, and they know it. That's why they're so worried. So the Icelandic Meteorological Office has released an interesting chart about the seismic activity, and they compare it with all the other eruptions that we have seen, how high the seismic activity was. So you see when we have the eruption that started on December 18th, so there was a lot of seismic activity, and then we have the January eruption, then the February eruption, and then the yellow ball, that's the March 2nd intrusion. So that was kind of surprising. Something was going on, but nothing was coming to the surface, and the magma chamber wasn't even that full at the time. And then we see the March 16th eruption, and then we see the other one, the red star, we see the May eruption. So when we look at the last eruption, the May eruption, it looks like a similar scenario right now. It looks really similar, so that could indicate that something is happening immediately in the next few hours, in the next few days. Also, they show us here a comparison about how full the magma chamber is. So you see here in that graph, you see what happened in November, that magma intrusion, and then it comes up, right? You see the magma chamber is getting fuller and fuller with each eruption. So it needs a larger amount before it starts because it is stretched so much. So there's more room to fill before the next eruption is happening. But we're over the amount that it had in the last eruption. You see that golden line here in May. So when that was triggered, it was a little less than what we have now. And that matches the theory that they say with each eruption, we need more magma in the magma chamber. So it really looks like all signs point towards eruption is imminent. So I wanted to give you that update. So we have to wait and hope that everything will be okay. And if you look at the website of, well, I won't say one of my favorite places, but what the Lagoonies are doing, the website states we're open, and then there's a little banner that says read more. And if you read more, they're talking about that they're located in a seismic active area, blah, blah, blah. And you know, I don't remember that they have been evacuated because of earthquakes, right? Where are these earthquakes coming from? You know, shouldn't you have a headline that says we're sitting on top of a magma chamber that is on its way to produce the next eruption? And we have seen these events since November 10th. So you might sit in your pool and the sky might turn red and the lava might come flowing towards you. Seismic activity is a little bit off, right? What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. So thanks very much for tuning in. There will be more news released today, guys. More is going on. So if you're new here, subscribe so that you're always up to date on the pulse with Silky. And I see you very, very soon, guys. Thanks so much. And thank you guys for signing up as members on my new membership page here on YouTube. And I'm excited what we can do there together. I'll share exclusive content only for my members. And I know I said it yesterday, YouTube, for whatever reason, you will not find the membership area or the join button when you're using your mobile phone or iPad. You have to go to your desktop computer. If you go to my start page, there's a section memberships, or if you watch one of my videos, then on the left side, there is a button that says join. And yeah, if you want, if you're interested in that, join me for behind the scenes contents and for exclusive perks that are all listed there, guys. So thanks for that. Thank you for the coffees on my Buy Me a Coffee site. If you want to support my channel there, it's greatly appreciated. The link is in the description of this video. And of course, guys, the supers you're sending me here, it really, really helps a lot. And you know, I'm using all that to support the animals on my farm. So stay safe, be prepared wherever you are, and I see you very soon. Bye-bye, guys.